You guys want to play a game? I've assembled 6 different interiors from 6 different celebrities, and I want to see if you can guess which one belongs to who. I came across this article on vogue.com.au. Aussie. There's quite a bit of variety in these different interiors, and more importantly, I was actually surprised about which one belonged to which celebrity. So the celebrities that we're talking about today are Anne Hathaway, Gwyneth Paltrow, Travis Barker, Mila Kunis / Ashton Kutcher, Boy George, and Adam Levine. Let's just go through these houses and just see if you can actually tell which one's which. So the first one is a beautiful, slightly gothic mansion, and it is awesome. There's a lot of really great details that were preserved in the design process, and I believe all of these houses were done by professional designers in collaboration with the celebrities themselves. But as you can see in these photos, there is just a ton of content in there, a lot of artwork, a beautiful spiral staircase. Does it count as spiral if it goes in right angles? I'm sure it does. I mean, even from the stained glass up here, it's amazing when designers can heighten and highlight the things that are already there in a beautiful piece of architecture like this building, but then also inject the personality of the owner of this home. Spoiler alert, this is very much evocative of this celebrity. As we move into the kitchen, we see some fun. We see that burst of yellow, those beautiful cabinets, even in the pantry as well. Dark, contrasty, moody black bathroom. And a fun fact, a lot of the artwork in this home was done by the celebrity. So that could be a huge hint, but I'll do the reveals at the end. Let's get to the next house. This next one is very much a cozy minimalist aesthetic. We have a ton of off-whites, creams, beiges, natural materials being used, woods, open sprawling spaces, some cozy vibes, fleecy chairs, everything that is very much comforting. Perhaps a bit stark for some people. Maybe there's just not enough color happening here, but it's a very popular mindset to keep everything pretty minimalist on the walls so that everything you include in the space can then be featured and pop more. Maybe not my personal aesthetic. I totally get it. And I think it's much more customizable because then you can just leave your walls and your flooring the way it is and then bring things in and out to sort of change up the feel of a space. And then of course you have the kitchen. Waterfall kitchen island. Of course. Not crazy about this one. Also not crazy about the celebrity, but moving right along. Next up, we have this really charming home, and it seems like it feels very European to me, the way it was designed. And just reading this now, the design of the home was based on a Paris apartment, which I think is such a cool idea because clearly this is a large, beautiful home, but it has this aesthetic that is undeniably French. Love the high contrast black and white checkered tiles. And then in the living room, you have this incredible onyx bar, just this freestanding slab of onyx. I would say this room would otherwise be quiet luxury where it's not in your face, but then you just see all that. You see that big slab of onyx? Okay. That's pretty loud luxury to me, but I still like it. It just feels very unique, purposeful. It has a lot of specificity to it, this whole design. You have this beautiful mural. Looks like it's, I don't know, this is Sistine Chapel or something. Like this is actually hand painted on the wall, which I think is really, really cool. That light fixture is very funky as well. And then this bathroom, it's like a subterranean spa from like ancient Roman times or something. It looks very impressive. I think it's very cool. I think I specifically love the design language of this. I think the point of view was so clear and it looks really, really cool. And yeah. So next up we have another pseudo take on cozy minimalism. Although instead of just pure off-whites and whites, we have a lot more of a taupey feel, a little more earthiness, some concrete that's being used, some darker woods. This is a bit closer to my personal taste in terms of going with some midtones, perhaps a bit more towards the japandi side of things versus Scandi. So not just clean, stark, sterile, a little more earthiness, a little more grounded. Another surprising one, because if you know the celebrity, it's not what you'd expect. So the second last one is a beautiful country home with a wonderful rustic feel, but also incorporating a lot of beautiful modern elements, kind of mid-century feeling as well. I mean, the view is to die for. Apparently this is a home that has been owned by some pretty prominent people before this celebrity. This one makes sense to me. Looking at this, I'm like, yeah, that's totally Blank's house. The question is, who is Blank? All right, and rounding up, we have this home, which I can only describe as a neo farmhouse. Like not modern farmhouse. This one is beautiful. It's neoclassical sort of aesthetic. It's extremely almost brutalist in the color scheme, the scale of everything, kind of unlike anything I've seen. Because normally when you have that modern farmhouse aesthetic, it's not done to this scale. It just kind of combines all my favorite things about design. I love the repurposed materials. I love the natural light being used. I love the industrial components that are happening. Everything is so rich and kind of gothic, right? Non-traditional, which I think is really cool. Probably my favorite of the bunch, and no surprise because we do share the same heritage. So why don't we go in reverse order? The celebrity behind this beautiful LA ultra modern gothic industrial farmhouse is Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, which is cool because, yeah, Mila Kunis, she's a Soviet girl, kind of like me, minus the girl part. But what's interesting is apparently they were very much involved in the design process. They were so clear on what they wanted and were very collaborative and smart about how everything was put together. Very envious of this house. I think it's so fun. Next up, we have the rustic country home with the incredible view. And it belongs to Anne Hathaway, the lovable Oscar-winning actress. And what's really nice about this house, it was actually owned by Yves Saint Laurent and then Wes Anderson. And of course, being owned by other prominent people that are very artistic, a lot of their design touch was sort of injected and embedded into the home. But then Anne Hathaway took it over and, you know, really made it her own with her design team. She said that she can see herself raising a family in this home, which I think is beautiful. Next up is the Taupey home. The grays, the browns, slightly japandi-ish. And it's owned by none other than Travis Barker, the tatted up drummer of Blink-182, married to, of course, Kourtney Kardashian. And yeah, their home is just way more clean and boring compared to what I would picture them having. But hey, I'm not judging. Now, what about the Paris-inspired home? Well, that one belongs to Gwyneth Paltrow, who is a woman of excellent taste, and could not be more thrilled for her because this home is very, very her. I just wish she was still married to Chris Martin, but, you know, killing them all, right? If you've been paying attention, we're down to two celebrities. We got Boy George and we got Adam Levine. And, of course, the kind of boring off-white home, it's Adam Levine, okay? Who I'm not a huge fan of. I don't really think he seems like he's a good dude. I am a bit of a hater, okay? And yeah, I'm not crazy about his home either. Which means the gothic mansion full of art is Boy George. Good old Culture Club. And what's awesome is not only is this house beautiful, it's preserved its beauty, its original features, the coffered ceilings, everything is there, enhanced. And also, yeah, it's really cool to find out that he's also a visual artist, not just a musician, and also a DJ. And he created a lot of these art pieces to sort of add these pops of color to this otherwise historical home. Really awesome stuff. I still got to give it to Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, though. That is so cool. What's your favorite? Let me know down below. And we got another video right over here. Check it out.